Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. She may not be a Summer House OG, but Paige DeSorbo is arguably the most beloved star of the series, joining during season 3. Paige has proven that she's a girl's girl, the best friend you want to hang out in bed with, and truly one of the only people in the share house who can speak any semblance of sense. But now, as season 9 is airing, viewers are seeing the cracks being exposed as her happiness has been tested. Though the current season was filmed prior to the shocking breakup of Paige and her longtime boyfriend Craig Conover, from Southern Charm fans have been privy to her life post. Craig recently, the Giggly Squad co-host, has opened up about her personal life now that the 32-year-old's life has been turned upside down. Thanks to her openness and vulnerability, Paige has been sharing some important advice that she's passing along to her fans. Paige DeSorbo reveals important dating advice this summer. For the first time in a long time, Paige DeSorbo is spending her summer single. Is she going to celebrate it as hot girl summer, or is she ready to mingle? Speaking with Briefing on Bravo, the Summer House star shared some incredible advice her therapist gave her about dating, advice that she said was like getting hit in the face with a brick. Her therapist pointed out that with her dating history, she only dated men who pursued her and never picked out a boyfriend herself. She said, "I was like, oh my God, I don't think the girls know this, that we're not picking our boyfriends." She said that to me in my early 20s, and I just always remembered it. Now being single for the first time in her 30s, Paige is taking this advice to heart, but that doesn't mean she's going to follow through with it. She revealed, "I haven't been single for a summer in a while, but I'm also excited too because I've never been single in my 30s, and I feel like it is just drastically different than your 20s. She then noted that now in her 30s she won't be out clubbing until the wee hours of the morning. Her mission is different now. "I don't care if he can go out and stay out and hang out with my friends. I'd actually prefer if he didn't want to do that. I'm just looking for someone that meshes easily with my life, and being a reality TV person isn't the easiest thing." She noted that potential suitors should have a respect and love for reality television, but not necessarily appear on it. Paige DeSorbo is picking up the pieces post-breakup. The Paige DeSorbo-Craig Conover split has rattled reality television fans, as it's truly been a tale of two stories. While wrapping up Southern Charm, Craig put out his version of the split, contradicting much of what Paige was eventually able to spill once her time came to discuss Summer House. At the root of their relationship, both individuals were on different pages between careers, kids, and where they would live. Paige and Craig were unfortunately not meant to spend a life together. They were reality television royalty, and that was it. Since the split, Paige has focused on herself, inspiring many watching from the wings. Paige recently revealed that her eggs have been frozen. On her podcast alongside her partner in crime Hannah Berner, she shared that the doctor was able to retrieve 28 eggs, though only 13 were considered mature. As Paige said, "That's a really good amount of eggs." Also understanding she could go through the process again. Her openness to discuss the process goes beyond the story on the reality show. Additionally, Paige has ensured her business ventures are her focus alongside her Giggly Squad identity. She's taken part in brand collaborations, including with Brun and their Smooth Skin collection at Target, with other partnerships with companies like DSO and Tior. Seth, the influencer, has ensured that she is the breadwinner. She truly is the spokesperson for empowerment. The summer Paige turned it was the first weekend of June, and the Hampton sun peeked over the dunes like it had something to prove. Paige DeSorbo stood barefoot on the wooden deck of the share house, iced coffee in hand, watching the breeze flirt with the hem of her oversized linen shirt. 32, she whispered to herself, as if the number tasted different in the ocean air. The house behind her buzzed softly with the sounds of unpacking, a Bluetooth speaker playing someone's carefully curated playlist, and the muffled voices of castmates preparing for yet another season of chaos masquerading as summer fun. But Paige felt different this time, lighter, or maybe just more aware. She wasn't the new girl anymore. Hell, she was practically the oracle of the house, the one with the sharpest liner and sharper advice. But something had shifted, and not just because Craig was no longer texting her passive-aggressive heart emojis or popping into her frame with a smirk and a tequila bottle. This was the summer Paige had to rewrite the script. Unsweetened cold brew and unspoken truths. "You're seriously glowing," Amanda said, flopping onto the striped Couch beside Paige kicking her sandals. Off, it's either the single life or the new serum I'm testing for a brand deal. Maybe both, Paige replied, tossing her hair back with a laugh that was just one notch too rehearsed. How are you really doing? Amanda pressed, knowing her friend too well to let her get away with the influencer smoke screen. Paige sighed, sinking deeper into the couch. It's weird, the breakup was months ago, but being here makes it feel fresh, like the house kept a memory of us arguing about where to spend Labor Day. Amanda nodded. You two loved hard, but also fought hard. Paige smiled ruefully. Yeah, and we kept trying to live in two separate shows, Southern Charm and Summer House. Turns out we couldn't script the ending. Amanda nudged her. At least you got a killer breakup glow up. Paige sipped her coffee and shrugged. Therapist says healing is hot. I say highlighter helps. Therapist truth bombs and texts left unread. The session started in the spring right after the final conversation with Craig ended with I just don't think we want the same things. Paige had nodded on the phone, even thanked him for his honesty, then immediately threw her phone across her Tribeca apartment. It didn't break, which felt both like a blessing and a betrayal. Her therapist, Dar Melrose, a red-lipped woman with designer heels and a sharper mind than most editors Paige had met, had asked one question that detonated her entire dating philosophy. Have you ever actually chosen someone, Paige, or do you just wait for them to choose you? That sentence was now etched into her brain like a tattoo. She didn't remember getting. Paige had spent years being pursued. Men slid into her DMs, crossed states to see her, bought her things, wrote her poems, bad ones, but still she never chased, only accepted, only responded. Now, at 32, she was questioning every yes she'd ever given. A new Page, literally mid-July, arrived with the smell of CBF, the sounds of clinking wine glasses, and a lineup of house drama that would make even Bravo blush. But this time Paige wasn't the sidekick or the peacemaker. She was the narrator of her own chapter. She'd started journaling, something she swore she'd never do unless a pen came with a brand partnership, but the pages filled quickly, raw thoughts, names of people she almost dated, things she wished she'd said to Craig. One entry read, I used to think the goal was a boyfriend, but now I think the goal is peace, someone who feels like home, not like a second job. She was still figuring it out, but every word felt like a breadcrumb leading her out of the forest of her 20s. Single at sunset. You're glowing again, Linz said during golden hour, holding up her phone to get a pic of Paige against the blazing sunset. Seriously, how many people are going to say that? Paige groaned. Do I look radioactive? You look like you finally exhaled, Lindsay replied softly. They sat by the fire pit later that night, drinking rosé and talking about fertility, the show, and the reality behind reality TV. I froze my eggs, Paige said almost casually. Lindsay blinked. You did 13 mature ones. I'm calling them the baker's dozen. They both laughed, but Paige felt the weight of the choice settled gently like a cashmere blanket. It wasn't just about the future anymore. It was about giving herself options, power, control. This isn't about settling down anymore, Paige said. It's about settling into myself. Men, mimosas, and misalignment. Dating apps were a disaster. Swipe fatigue set in fast, and most men either recognized her from TV or sent emojis that could qualify as red flags. In 5 languages. She did go on one date with a pediatric dentist named Ben, who wore boat shoes unironically and didn't understand what a confessional was over Eggs Benedict and a mimosa. He asked, so is it weird having cameras around all the time, like when you go to the bathroom? Paige deadpanned, yes, we all wear body cams, it's very Big Brother. Ben didn't laugh. Paige sipped her mimosa and made a mental note next, but she wasn't disheartened. Weirdly, she was entertained. She was collecting stories, now not relationships, learning her likes and dislikes, like she was shopping for her next apartment instead of her next boyfriend, not just a giggly girl back in the city. The Giggly Squad live show sold out faster than a Taylor Swift drop. Hannah and Paige stood backstage in matching metallic outfits, hyped up and hugging like college roommates on Adderall. I think I'm funnier when I'm sad, Paige admitted, eyes twinkling behind her lashes. No, you're just honest now, Hannah said. That's even better. The crowd roared as they stepped out, chanting inside jokes, waving signs and wearing merch like armor. It hit Paige, then she built something.